Welcome.
Thank you.
Tonight we are at the Mike's Camera launch event for the big Z8.
Woo woo.
And so yeah, we're excited about it. So Mike, why don't you tell us about yourself? I mean, what do you do and what do you shoot?
Yeah, so I'm a Nikon shooter. I'm most known for my landscape and my volcano and severe weather work. So I'm from Dallas, Texas, which is a perfect place to kind of hop into Tornado Alley and chase the storms and document the storms. But I've been shooting now professionally for 13 years, travel all over the globe for different projects, and overall just a big camera nerd.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at the Z8, and you were part of the launch team in the campaign, and so compare it to the Z9, what are the differences?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first thing you realize when you pick it up is the size and the weight. But more importantly too, for me, when I pick it up, it feels like a Nikon right off the bat. The ergonomics doesn't matter the size of the weight, just the way the grip feels in your hand, you feel it's a Nikon. So yeah, you realize right off the bat, it's smaller, it's lighter. If you were ever a D850 shooter, all of a sudden your heart skips a beat and you're happy because you're like, this is the D850.
Right, perfect transition there.
Exactly. So it feels great, looks great, and I can tell you functionality wise, it works great.
Okay. So you do both still and video.
Yep.
So when you look at the video capabilities, I heard a little bit on some of the launch videos about high resolution or ProRes.
ProRes, the 422.
Yeah. So when you look at ProRes, what is that? I mean, I'm just curious. I know that's been used. So is that different in the 9 than the 8?
I believe it's actually the same in the two cameras, But yeah, if you're tapping into that ProRes, you're getting basically like camera raw, like just much more dynamic range within the video files there.
So when you look at the Z8, is it a different customer? I mean, are we going for a different customer with the Z8 than the Z9? Or, I mean, what's going to make the difference? Why should I buy an 8 versus a 9?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's $1 million question, right? The 8 versus the 9, I think the clientele that's going to go for the 8 is somebody that's looking for a camera that's going to allow them to save space when they're traveling. Somebody that may want a lighter pack, whether they're hiking or just walking around the city or something. It's just overall a little bit more compact. The Z9, obviously a fantastic camera. I've shot that for a long time as well. To me, that the vertical grip onto it, the battery life, the ability to quickly switch over for wildlife photographers to vertical versus horizontal orientation or portrait photographers, that's fantastic. The 8, you obviously have the additional battery grip you could plug in, but for me, I think the big difference is the people that are going to come to the 8 are looking for something that's lighter and easier to travel with or hike with.
Okay, perfect. So when you look at what's in your bag and what you shoot, I mean, what are some of the lenses that are your favorite?
Yeah, so my go-tos are the 14 to 24 2.8. That is my pride and joy with landscape and night sky photography. The 24 to 120 is the lens that I actually didn't have before shooting on the Z8 campaign and immediately purchased after because it's such a versatile lens. It's small, it's compact, it's sharp at 24, it's sharp at 120, edge to edge, it's super sharp. So that is become one of my new favorite landscape lenses. And you'll see in the campaign that was used for quite a bit of the aerials as well. So, and then the 100 to 400 is another new love of mine. You know, super tack sharp, rather lightweight for a telephoto lens. And to have that focal length 100 to 400 and having relatively low apertures, it's great for wildlife, portrait, even sports, you know, even landscape, you know, honing in on some of the mountain landscapes and the textures. So those are right now my 3 go-to lenses. So
when you did the launch campaign and you were out shooting the landscape and stuff, what did you find the most interesting thing about the Z8 and the lenses that you're using that was a difference? You talked about size, you talked about how easy it was to transport, and we talked a little bit off before we started this, and you're talking about how, you know, what's in your bag now and what will be in your bag, and it's mainly size related. When you look at what you did, what lenses did you use and what did you like the most about the Z8?
Yeah, you know, I think it was a combination of the Z8 with the 24 to 120 that I I found myself not really changing my lenses too much. And one of the examples from the campaign was when we took the ultralight up over the Badlands of Utah. This camera was the perfect size to be able to control in an environment like that, which is relatively unstable. So having the size and the weight, it's easier to control. And that 24 to 120 was great because we're flying over these amazing buttes, and it's like you want that wide shot.
You're talking about the plane, like, you know, at a huge angle just to get.
Yeah, we're banking the aircraft to kind of get the wingtip out of the way, and I'm able to shoot at 24. But then immediately after, we're banking the aircraft the other way to look straight down on all the textures, and I'm shooting at 100 millimeters. So that lends the versatility of it in situations like that was absolutely fantastic, and it was such a joy to use. So I think just the overall versatility of the camera, the weight, the size. I will say though, the Z9 and the Z8, the sharpness of both those cameras, they're identical, they're both super sharp, and being able to zoom in 100% on a crop and seeing all the little ridges down below being tack sharp. And there's even one time where we flew over, I had no idea what they're doing out there, but like this person, and I'm like hoping they're okay. But I zoomed in, I was like, oh my gosh, that's a person just walking in the middle of nowhere, and I was able to have that resolution and that sharpness from up there and see that. Yeah.
So we talked a little bit, and I saw some of your photos. I mean, you look at the lava, you look at the, you know, the bear. You showed me that great bear, and you told me the story about, you know, the lens you use for that, and being able to. What do you really? I mean, what's your favorite thing? I mean, yes, landscape. You know, and what else? I mean, is lava? I mean, those pictures were amazing of the lava fields and so forth.
Yeah, you know, it's man, I love the world. Period.
Okay.
You know, everything that it holds, wildlife, landscapes, volcanoes, tornadoes, unicorns, you know, everything that's in this world is amazing. But for me, like, I have really found a deep desire for our climate and for the sky above. So storms, that's something where my roots are, and to this day, I still get excited. You know, before we started this conversation, I'm showing you photos of the storms that are happening right now.
Yep, no.
So getting out there.
It's a stormy day out there today.
Yeah, I'm driving in, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I had it, you know, on my camera right now. I wish I had foreground. So yeah, seeing these storms and capturing the beauty of these storms, to me, that has my heart. The world's awesome, all of it together, but I see a cloud, and I'm a happy guy, happy photographer.
Perfect. Good. Well, thank you. Really appreciate the time and sharing us with your experience with the Z8 and your travels and all the photos. So thank you.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Good meeting you.
Likewise.
Bye.
Thank you.